Hello, I'm Samuel Perez. You've seen me in previous live boards in my capacity as SD-WAN or network security. Today I'm going to talk about a new topic, universal ZTNA. And this is going to be a series of topics, right? First of all, what do we understand by universal ZTNA? It's how we're going to secure how users and things talk among themselves, talk with assets, talk with applications, right? It's going to touch on your network security, is going to touch on your application security. Now, today we're going to focus on private edge. What are we doing with private edge? Why is this going to help? Okay, so with ZTNA, we have very tight controls of how users access applications, regardless of whether they have the agent, like this user here, or whether we have like an agentless user, which can also come and see our applications hosted in the SSC cloud. You're accessing the application. You're not having access to the server, so there's no lateral movement. Of course, we follow all the zero trust principles. Everything is identity-based. There's least privilege access, and there's continuous monitoring. That is great. And then what happens when you go to the office and do this on site, right? We had those remote users, and we like how the policies were being managed, how the application access was very tight, very secure. Now how do we do it for this user down here? Well, we're going to do the same thing. This user will have access to whichever application he or she needs to access, maybe this application and this application, based on the fact that it's a compliant device, it's on whatever group of your Entra or Okta or whatever it is. Now, the difference here is that the user is just going to come to our private edge. Instead of having to go all the way to the cloud where the applications are presented, the applications for this user are going to be presented just right here in the private edge. Does this mean that we have any policies that are different, that are configured anywhere else? Not at all. From the SSC cloud, we deliver the same policies that we had for these remote users to the users that are sitting on site and to the private edge, which is doing that local enforcement. So you get that same zero trust policy. You get a unique policy for application access, both for your users, agent and agentless that are remote, and for your users that are on site. And you get a distributed enforcement so that we enforce where it makes more sense. If you're outside the network, we're going to enforce directly in our SSC cloud. If you're inside the network, we will enforce in the private edge. If you want to learn more about universal ZTNA, stay tuned. We will continue with this series talking about IoT, talking about workload security, talking about a lot of other things. Thanks for watching. For more information, please visit our website,